You answered and then some, brother. I appreciate the love, man. Hey, that's why we have this, man. I think for me, man, like you said, there's a lot of dope people on this planet, and through this, I want to be able to add value and meet other cool people along the way. And I love that you said in the spirit of keeping it real, because we're actually about to get real now. It was a warm up, so
Let's do
brother,
it,
I gotta
man.
ask, man. I gotta ask, man. If you were to ask, if on a scale of, let me rephrase this. If you had to put a percentage
Mhm.
on, let's just say, all of your friends, right? And you ask them, how's it going? Like, what percentage I'm going to give you the real answer or the politically correct small tech answer? Like, oh, it's going cool. Like, I'm doing all right. Like, if you had to put a percentage, man, what is that actual percentage where you're going to get the real answer? Well, hey, like, life's great. I'm thriving. I'm in my zone,
Mhm.
as you said. Or if the equivalent of I can't even score a layup, like I'm going through it like rough. Like how many friends would actually be honest with you when you first asked that right now?
Man, I love that question, and I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, man. I think if I had to pick a percentage, I would say about 90% of them will give me the politically correct answer, man. Hey, what's up, man? How's it going? Oh, we're good, man. We chilling. We're doing good. And lo and behold, they broke up with their girl last week, and it's like, bro, I mean, either they just didn't love her or they're really hiding it, right? So I think a lot of people try to hide and suppress some of their emotions, and there could be a number of reasons why, Adi. But my assumption, whenever people, don't want to be honest, is that they just don't know how to process their emotions, and they'd rather just not talk about it. But yeah, man, I would say that about 90% of them. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
I'm shocked, but I'm not surprised, man. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's just fascinating, man. I think like
Mm-hmm.
it's even if I look at my own relationships I have with folks I've known for multiple years, I'm talking about 5+ years or with I know my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
You ask them, it's like I can't. I'm not gonna reveal my cards as to what's going on. And
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Just I think it's this programmatic thing where it's like I feel like unless
Mm-hmm.
like you're gonna be in a psychological safe state of mind around people like who are like really not gonna judge you, it's really hard to just be out there, man. Because I think too, it's fundamentally like we just seek and crave that approval, from
Right.
people in general, but especially the folks around us, man. I think it's never fun to like just say like, yeah, man, like shoot, I lost my job, or I got broken up by, or like I lost love. Like those are things that one hit home like heavy, right? And then two, it's just like you're worried about what is gonna be the outcome of like what people will say. So I get why people do
Yeah,
that.
man. For sure, for sure. It could be fear. They've never had the environment to, or like the safe space to actually talk about these things, and maybe that question of like, how are you doing? Maybe they already just know how to shift into, I'm all right. I don't really talk about this stuff, right? But yeah, man, and for my friends, like at least the close circle that I have, they know that when I ask them, not because I'm a therapist, but when I ask them, they know that I'm genuinely curious. Like, hey, how are you doing? Like, you keep it real. If you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to. But just know that when Leo asks you, how are you doing? Hope that you could be as honest as possible, because if there's something that I could do to help you, I'll do it, man. Um, but yeah, man, a lot of people typically don't, don't tell me, which is okay. They don't have to. But yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I just think like if we look at the last few years, man, even just dating back to wow, it's been 5 years since the pandemic started, but I just think the last few years have been a lot. And I think with that, man, I think we're all just forced to like process in some capacity what's going on, and I think it's
Mhm.
important to, like you said, find those safe spaces. Whether that's journaling, talking to someone, and so
Mhm.
yeah, I think it's a necessary thing. Whether you seek the help or not. But no, I was gonna ask, man. I think just brother to brother. I think as fellow minorities, man, I think we talk about mental health, but I think even within our cultures, man, I just think like this concept of going to talk to someone like to get help. Like if
Mhm.
it's ironic, man. I think, for example, if I want to get help in my finances, I'll talk to a financial advisor. If I want to get fit, I'll talk to a trainer. If I want to, if I have a flat tire or I need an oil change, I'll go to a mechanic. If I
Right.
want to, learn how to cook better, I'll get help from a chef. Like I think it's so funny because in all these other areas we want to optimize our lives,
Mm.
you know, both for the short term and long term, we'll spend without hesitation, whether we have it or not, right? Because sometimes life happens. But when it comes to our mental health and you know the person that we spend the most time with, where we have the most thoughts about on a daily basis, there's just such
Mhm.
a level of hesitation. So I'm just curious, like from your perspective, man, like what do you think causes that?
So there's a number of reasons that could cause that, right? And every situation is different, right? For some people, like I said earlier, it could be fear, it could be they just never had the safe space. But if we want to talk specifically about minorities, being Hispanic, being a minority and whatnot, I know that culturally there's this stigma behind we just don't talk about our feelings, especially as a man, right?
Absolutely.
And yeah, man. And look, in my culture, Adi, and I mean, you're more than welcome to chime in with your culture. But for me, being Mexican, I had a very traditional father. You know, he's the man of the household. He protects, he provides, and God forbid if there was ever a zombie apocalypse, like he's got this, right? He's gonna do his
Yeah.
thing. But if he's sad, if he is struggling, like he does not show emotion. So as a kid, I picked up on that. I even when I was feeling some type of way, I don't know, some type of sadness or loneliness or whatever, like we just don't talk about this